What I don't understand is why you want to hire me to do it, Ollie said. It was a conversation that Ollie had had a number of times before. He'd done so many strange things that when people had something strange that they needed, sometimes they would just think of him. That's why he was talking to a pig who wanted him to deliver chocolate to other pigs. Well, you see, it's not going to be a simple thing, and my sense is that you're a resourceful person, the pig said. But why is it complicated? Well, there's these trees, and they move, and you're clever, and you fight big things, and this chocolate really needs to get there. I just need someone who's really competent to take this on. I'll pay your rates. I'll pay double your normal rate. It's just really important to me. It's my mother's birthday, and I wanted to get the chocolates. I said, all right. So, you need me to deliver these chocolates to... This is your mother's house? No. It's my uncle's house, but she's staying with him for a week. She's in town. I can't get up there until the weekend because I got some work stuff, but I don't want her to have her birthday pass without a little gift from me, because I'm her son. I'm trying to take care of my mom, I said, all right. Fine. If you really want to pay double my normal rate, I will do this odd chocolate delivery for you. Well, what's the deal with the trees? The trees, sometimes the trees are not a problem at all, but sometimes they get up and they walk around, and they're varying levels of welcoming to visitors. They're meant to be a security measure, I think. Or at least I think that's when my uncle moved in there. I don't know. They like my uncle. They don't always like me. They like my mom. They don't like my sister. They like the mailman. I don't know. You just gotta be on your toes. All right, I said. All right, I'll do it. Cash up front. Deal. How do we know how much cash? That's a good question, Ollie said. All right, let me think here. And he put in the address into the maps program. And it said it was basically an hour drive from Ollie's apartment to this house. I said, all right, we got an hour drive. Assume an hour drive back. If there might be shenanigans, let's assume that I'm going to need an hour to get safely from my car to your house, to your uncle's house, and back. So we'll do a 3-hour bill for now. And if I need more time, then yeah, I'm good for it. Yeah. So the guy paid up in cash. The pig, I should say, paid up in cash. And I said, all right, I'll get on it. While he was finishing up, getting ready to go, he read up on tree creatures. The Ents from Lord of the Rings seemed like the most likely reference. These big, giant tree creatures that lived in and were the forest. Ollie had not really encountered Ents or anything like it before. He'd encountered some forest sprites and fairies and things like that. Just lay down. Although I thought, and he went into his files and looked through and said, no, I did deal with an Ent before. All right. Let me see here. He read through his notes about how I dealt with that situation. The biggest thing he got from that was that not to use fire. It seems like fire would give you leverage over an Ent, but it mostly makes them panic, and you don't want a panicking giant creature. Just leave the fire out of it. All right, I thought, I've done enough prep. What the package that the pig had given him was about the size of, was a big package of chocolates, but not a huge package overall. Right on. It was about the size of a 6-pack of soda or beer. And it was decently heavy. I mean, it was like food weight. Ollie wasn't sure if it was just all truffles in there or fudge or what it was. And then that was inside of a little thermos cooler type bag, an insulated bag. So easy enough for Ollie to, when he shortened the strap anyway, sling over his body and carry. So he rented a car. He'd factored that into the price. Started driving. It was a pleasant drive out to the county. But instead of being out on the horse country part of things, straight north of Baltimore, it was sort of off to the east. It's more woodsy. Got off the highway, got on the local roads, got off the local roads onto the country roads, and he got about as far as he could get for the car that he'd rented. He looked on the map, and he was pretty close to there. And indeed, he pulled off, and there was actually a driveway. And it was marked with the name, Piggy McPiggerston, of the pig who hired him's uncle. So he parked the car there in the driveway, making sure to pull all the way off the road to be safe. And he started walking. There was a gate, but it was more like a cow gate. You could just climb right through, and all he did. According to the map, it was going to be a quarter-mile walk from the driveway up to the house. Not too far. And by this time of day, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So still plenty of daylight. But Ollie walked, and he listened. He heard all the normal sounds of the forest. Wind blowing in the leaves. A squirrel here or there, a bird tweeting. Far off in the distance, he could hear the occasional whir of a car driving by on the road. But it was pretty quiet. It was very natural there. The trees were tall. Probably a couple 100 feet. And the canopy was thick overhead. There was dappled sunshine, but mostly Ollie was walking in the shade of the trees. It was lovely. It would have been 100% lovely if Ollie wasn't concerned about big, giant, moving trees, Ents, attacking him at any moment. But he figured, and he remembered, Ents are a lot of things, but they're not sneaky. Not if you're listening. So he walked, and he listened. There was a stream, and when Ollie got on the other side of the stream, the grass felt different. The mood felt different. And Ollie listened even harder, and he started to hear a bigger, slower rustling than he'd heard. He looked around, careful to watch the trees, and kept walking. There was a path, just marked with stones. And that's when Ollie saw the first Ent. It wasn't, though, a giant. I was walking along the path, and a tree maybe 10 feet tall. Not too huge, well, about as big around as a beer can. As Ollie got sort of near, it turned, it swayed, eyes opened up in its trunk, and it looked at Ollie. And it said, "You there. What are you doing here?" Ollie said, "Just making a delivery. What are you doing?" Just tree stuff." "Who are you delivering to?" "I'm delivering to the pig's sister." "The pig's sister."
Pig's mom. Uncle's house mom.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, it's the person, the pig who hired Ollie was the pig's daughter, but that makes the pig's uncle the pig's mother's brother, doesn't it? So the pig that the trees would know, this would be the pig's sister. Got it?
Yes.
No, that's okay. That's a fair question. I said, oh, all right. Oh, yeah. Shelley. I like Shelley. She's nice. And she smells like salt. Huh. How do you smell like salt? Ollie said. Well, when you're a tree, you can smell all kinds of things. It's not quite like the ocean. But it's also not quite like a sandwich. At this, Ollie was intrigued. I said, now hold on a second. I don't mean to pry, but you seem like you're a friendly Ent. I try to be, the Ent said. I did not ever think of an Ent, a tree person, as eating his sandwiches. Oh, well, there you're wrong. I love sandwiches. Oh, man, do you have a sandwich? I said, I don't have a sandwich. What's your favorite kind of sandwich? My favorite kind of sandwich is you get cinnamon raisin bread, and you put some pepperoni on it, and then some Swiss cheese, mayonnaise, and a little bit of mustard. And then you toast that. Just toast the whole thing in a toaster oven. Not for too long, just enough to warm everything up and get things a little bit melty. Fascinating, Ollie said. I just sort of assumed that Ents got their nutrients from the soil. Oh, we can, but sandwiches are great. That's good to know, I said. Next time, I'll bring sandwiches. Is it okay, though, if I go up to the house? I gotta make this delivery. Oh, yeah, now do your thing. I'm just here doing tree stuff. Don't worry about it. And so Ollie kept walking. He walked about 10 paces, and then he realized he had a question and turned around. He said, hey, what's your name? Oh, Ms. Al. Hey, Ms. Al, I'm Ollie. Are all of the Ents here friendly? Oh, no. No, some of them are grumpy. You better watch out. The one to really watch out for is the big oak. He's not a bad person, but he's distrustful and grumpy. Thank you, Ollie said. And so he kept walking. And about halfway through, he heard a big rustling noise. It sounded like a very large object waving in the wind. Well, I looked up and looked around, and then he looked back up the trail, and that's when he heard the stomping. And when he heard the stomping, he saw the tree, and there was a big oak, walking his way, looking with intention. He hadn't spotted the face of the tree yet, but moved its roots like they were legs. I wasn't sure what to do, because you don't want to try and fight a creature like that. Maybe he doesn't want to fight, Ollie thought. So he made himself look as big as he could, which, you know, he's an octopus. He's not big, but he stands up tall. He can look like he's about 4'11". And he made himself kind of a bluish color as best as he could to stand out. And the big oak tree got about 10 yards away. And then it stopped. And suddenly, nothing changed, but Ollie could perceive the face there. It was high up, maybe 50 feet up. Big bushy eyebrow-looking things. And a big booming voice said, "Who goes here?" And Ollie said, "My name's Ollie. I'm an octopus. And I'm delivering presents." "Delivering presents to whom?" "To the pig and his sister." "The pig and his sister. I suppose you think I should treat you as a friend." I said, well, and he thought carefully about how to answer this, because magical creatures are sometimes very picky about words. He said, "I would be happy to be considered your friend, but all I really need today is to pass by. All I need today is to not be your enemy. Well, the tree thought, that does seem like a reasonable request. Seems you've done nothing to harm me, but it's a long walk, and I'm bored. I said, yeah? So, maybe you want to ride. And Ollie had never seen such a mass of tree move so quickly. Before he knew what was happening, the tree had swooped down, picked Ollie up, and was carrying him. It was like flying. He was so high up in the air, so suddenly. But the tree was gentle. And it was really pretty cool to be riding through the forest in the palm of an ant. Ollie shouted to be heard above the din. Thank you for the lift. May I know your name? Oh, they call me Mike. Mike, Ollie said. That's a common human name, too. Yeah, I know. I had it first. I said, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? I don't mind at all. I'm 400 years old. I'm one of the oldest trees in this area. And yes, I was Mike way before all the humans came along and started making things Mike. Now, Ollie knew a little bit about history, and Mike is a pretty old name, actually, in human history. There probably were Mikes way before 400 years ago. Certainly there were Michaels. But Ollie decided he didn't really need to start a debate with the giant tree person that was holding him. So he just hung out and enjoyed the ride. Well, here we are, said the tree as they got to the top of the hill. And Ollie realized he was actually quite grateful for the ride because it was a pretty steep hill. He could have made it, certainly, but it was a lot less work to be carried. The tree bent down and set Ollie down right in front of the front door. Thank you, Mike. Great to meet you. Nice to meet you, too. Not an enemy, maybe a friend. And as quickly as it appeared, the tree was gone. Ollie gathered his composure, knocked on the door, and there, two kindly-looking pigs answered. Oh, hello. How can I help you? I have a delivery from, I think, your son, ma'am. Oh, how lovely. That's so sweet. It's my birthday, you know. I said, I had heard. Happy birthday, ma'am. Well, thank you. You've come such a long way. Would you like to come in for a cup of coffee? I would love that, Ollie said. And he wrote down on a little piece of paper they'd brought with him the time, because he wasn't going to charge to sit and have a cup of coffee in the woods. And that was the case of Ollie and the chocolates and trees and pigs.